Good kick right in front of the goal, and it's in.
Back in, cuts to his corner, take the shot, he scores!
Point, Pennsylvania, as Pittsburgh Hockey Digest continued live presentation of PIHL hockey rolls on with this pre-holiday matchup between the hometown Peters Township Indians and the visiting Central Catholic Vikings. I am Matt Geika on the call, flying solo once again this evening, also on tape delay on PTCT7. Thank you to Brian Mitchell and Lori Seekley and all the folks at both Pittsburgh Hockey Digest, Peters Township Community Television, and the Peters Township Club Hockey Program for allowing these broadcasts to go on. Now in our fourth year, or my fourth year, here on PTCT7, as well as our second year on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest's Facebook page. For the visiting Vikings, who you see on your screen right there, dressed in their traditional purple and gold, it's been an interesting season. They have split their 11 games right down the middle with a record of 5-5-1, and they've both allowed 3 goals per game and they've given up 3 goals per game. And if that wasn't enough of a break-even type of a theme for you, Central Catholic has also alternated wins and losses over its past 5, with 4 of those being at home. So I'm sure for Coach William Connolly's team, maybe a bit of a disappointment as they take to the road here in their final game of calendar year 2018. This is the second matchup between Central Catholic and Peters Township, and the Vikings will be seeking some vengeance for a 4-3 win for the Indians that you see now on your device screen out at Alpha Ice Complex in Harmarville. That happened way back on October the 9th. That was the second game of the season for both these teams. Peters Township won 2 in a row to start, then lost 2 in a row to drop to even 500, but since then, it's been a red-hot Indians team, winning 6 straight to rise to a record of 8-2 just past the season's midway point. Peters Township 4 points behind North Allegheny for first place in Class AAA in the PIHL standings, and PT now playing its 7th game out of 11 here at home. Now, a couple of those games were technically road games, if you will, when they took on Cannon McMillan, including last week, as it was a 4-1 decision in favor of Rick Tingle's Indians right here on this very same ice surface 7 days ago. PT, as it has so often this year, actually fell behind early, but then scored 4 consecutive goals to take home the win and extend that streak. John Camp had a goal to tie the game early in the second period last week. Then Nico Watsula and Jack Zakin added on before the end of the frame. That 3-goal burst proved decisive against the rival Big Macs for the Peters Township Indians. And then Torrey Schwartz tacked on his 7th of the season in the third period. So far for Peters Township, yes, the story has been offense, as it often is, averaging 4 goals per game to lead the 9-team Class AAA cohort. But also, goaltending has been interesting, as Coach Tingle has used both of his co-number 1 goaltenders, if you will, in fairly equal measure. Brock Sharbaugh got the start last week. That was his 6th, as he denied Cannon McMillan on 20 occasions out of 21 total shots to pick up his 5th win. And also junior Alex Wilbert, who led the team to the Penguins Cup Championship and the state championship 2 years ago as a freshman. He started 4 times, and he has a 3-1 record. And both goalies have almost identical save percentages so far for Peters Township. Sharbaugh with a .910 and Alex Wilbert with a .909. It's a different story in the Central Catholic net, though, as Norbert McDermott, wearing number 35, has played every minute of every game. This game number 12 for Central Catholic. That's the most minutes played by a AAA goaltender so far this year. Warm-ups are over, and the 2 teams have reported to their respective benches. For the first time in 4 weeks, we actually have a game in prime time, if you will, 7 o'clock start. A little more reasonable for all of you out there, and thank you for joining us. live on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest if you are. Again, this is Matt Geika bringing you the play-by-play. That first meeting between these two teams was quite exciting out at Alpha Ice Complex, as Peters Township had to rally twice in the third period. Central Catholic enjoyed two separate leads in that final frame before PT went on to win an extended shootout. Well, the two teams are lined up on the blue lines. Helmets are off, so we'll step aside for our national anthem and bring it back for the opening faceoff. Some stick taps and a few cheers, and we are moments away from the final matchup of the calendar year for both these teams. Peters Township trying to win its 7th in a row, and Central Catholic looking to get back on the right track after a 5-2 loss against Mount Lebanon last week at home. Peters Township will be in the white uniforms, and the starting goaltender for PT will be the junior Alex Wilbert, wearing number 34. This is his 5th start and his 5th appearance. He has a .909 save percentage and a 3.06 goals against average, a record of 3-1. This is his first appearance against Central Catholic this season. Of course, Central Catholic was the team that Peters Township beat 2 years ago in the Penguins Cup championship game, and Alex Wilbert was presiding over that victory. And as for Central Catholic, no surprise here, as Norbert McDermott gets his 12th start in as many games, a .901 save percentage for him and a 2.80 goals against average. Peters Township controls off the draw, and the white-clad Indians dump and chase. John Camp's on the charge. There's Jack Zakin there, too. A deserved start for this line of Zakin, Camp, and McElhaney. They generated 2 out of the 3 second-period goals last week. Really helped turn the game for the Indians against Cannon Mac, which was raring to go. Nearly another chance in front there for this line as McElhaney tried to put it in front of the goal, but it was intercepted by the Vikings and now fired down the wall and out of play by Dylan Vallow, number 8 for the purple-clad Central Catholic outfit. Central Catholic's leading scorer is Ronan Junker, 4 goals and 7 assists for 11 points in 11 games. He's the only Viking on a point-per-game pace so far this season. Ranks 8th, does Junker, in Class AAA scoring. Appears the Indians are going to be short their top gun, though, tonight. Jeremy Anthos appears to be a scratch for a second consecutive week due to an ankle injury he suffered at the Bethel Park YMCA 12 days ago. So if that is the case and he does not play, Indians will be missing his 13 points, which is tied for 4th in Class AAA. As PT goes on the forecheck, Ryan Lee hammers a slap shot that missed by a couple of feet. Jeffrey Poon with the hold at the left point. Pulled off and shot on line by DiNardo, and that save is made by McDermott, the first stop for either goaltender tonight. Rung around the wood by Nicholas Castracani, and it's retrieved on that far side by Central Catholic. Castracani goes to the front of the net, but can't take the pass there. Now it's picked up by Caparelli and put out to the point. Shot through traffic, and Ryan Lee blocked that. Now a big rip from out by the blue line by Dane Martin that's kicked out by Wilbert, so he's into the game too. Both teams getting a quick chance. A centering play here from Martin is intercepted by the senior defenseman Jeffrey Poon, who backhands it deep. Poon now playing in his 3rd game since returning from injury. He's played in 5 total this year. That's been a nice addition in midseason for the Indians. Eric Wilbert on the chase, but McDermott will stop it back there with his big goal stick. Hands it off for the shootout by Dominic Velchery. Indians try again. Eric Wilbert, a good move. Avoids the hook from Max Saganek. But here again is Velchery, the Central Catholic defenseman. Couldn't get it by Josh Jones, who shoves it backhand. Wide left. Drew Wilbert pulls it off the wall far side. Saganek clears it down the ice for the Vikings, but this will be an easy icing call, and that'll bring the faceoff back into the Central Catholic zone with just about 2.5 minutes gone in the first period. We play 17-minute periods in PIHL hockey. The previous meeting between these two needed more than that. We went on to that 3-minute 3-on-3 overtime, which can get rather frantic and crazy, and it was at the Alpha Ice Complex back in October between these two, but no goals were scored. So it went to a shootout, and that's where the Indians prevailed. This is Hunter Ferguson, the junior defenseman, tapping it down the wall, off to Ryan Luppy, Indians captain. Wanted to give it to Watsula, and now it bounces right to Luppy at the side of the net, but he's unable to stuff it in. Luppy's pass finds Aiden Alexander at the point. Stick save made by McDermott. Swatted over to the wall, but kept there. Torrey Schwartz helping out with Ferguson. Ferguson picked up 2 assists last week, his first 2 varsity points. So congratulations to him. Was a breakout second period for a couple of guys, as Jack Zakin had a goal and an assist too. Here's Watsula, who scored last week. Hard shot, but he missed that just outside the right post. Coming right down the center of the ice was Watsula. Now Schwartz on the pursuit for Peters Township, but John Null shoots in, one of the co-goal scoring leaders for the Vikings with 5. Schwartz, a backhand pass to the middle of the ice in his own end. Ferguson's there to take it. Relays ahead to Luppy, now in for Watsula, and he's denied on the partial breakaway by McDermott. First big save goes to the Central Catholic netminder. Still no score, 13 and a half minutes to go in the first period. This is Matt Geika live from South Point, Pennsylvania, bringing you Class AAA boys hockey. Luppy, the dish to Owen Barrett. Bank pass is a good one. It finds Torrey Schwartz with a flip in. Peters Township goes for a change behind the play as McDermott shoots it high around the glass. McElhaney couldn't keep it, but now held up right there at the wall by John Camp, the recent call-up. 2 goals in 2 games for John Camp, who wears number 9 and finally has his own name on the back of his jersey. And he takes this pass, cuts back and shoots, and he hit the outside of the net. John Camp looking impressive, very shifty player, making the most of his varsity time with a couple of Indians injured. Camp lassos the puck at center ice, tried to spin a pass across. McElhaney pulls in the loose puck, but he couldn't possess it all the way to the goal. Now McElhaney fired one to the side of the net. Jack Zakin gave it right back to McElhaney. The big sophomore tries to hand off to Zakin. Puck loose in the slot and cleared away by Ethan Iaccio of Central Catholic. Zakin behind the back pass, right on target to John Camp. Camp shoots, and he scored! John Camp has 3 in 3. Unbelievable stuff from Camp. That's a good bingo. It's 1-0 Peters Township with 12:10 left in the first period. Incredible stuff from number 9 in white. 3 goals in 3 games. He scored at Bethel Park 2 weeks ago. He scored last week against Cannon McMillan, and he's got another one. And he's scored the first goal in each of the last 3 games for Peters Township. How about that? So the third line again, well, if you can even call it that at this point for the Indians, the third line gets it done. We'll stick to that since it is an inexperienced group. Parker Johnson backhands it out to the safety of center. So Camp at even strength, ringing that wrist shot from the right circle off the far post under the blocker of McDermott. The Vikings have to tag up here or else they would have been offside. Poon carries through, using that long reach to protect the puck, but he's stripped of it nicely by Ronan Junker. Behind the goal, Saganek plays it away from behind the net. 1-0 Peters Township, early stages first period. Ronan Junker on the take, gave it away at center ice. Poon lifts it deep. And Junker tried to clear, gave it away in the middle of the ice. There's Johnson, backhanding, save made by McDermott. That was a hard shot along the ice, a good backhand. Now Saganek leading the parade back. The give off for Vallo's snapshot, about a 20-footer, and no problem for Alex Wilbert to hold on to it. Getting first goals hasn't been Peters Township's strength, but now that's 2 in 3 games. They scored first at Bethel Park 2 weeks ago as well. That led to a 4-1 win. Last 2 games have finished 4-1 for Peters Township, both to the good. And they've won 6 in a row, have the Indians. Long lead pass, good job from Drew Wilbert to pull it in on the bounce, and he shot it off the blocker hand of McDermott, and it bounced up into the screen, it appeared, a late whistle, and referee Garrett Gadosh has it under control. He does blow the play dead. Gadosh and Nunez are our referees tonight, 2-referee system, as per usual. Garrett Gadosh, also a linesman in college hockey. You see him often at the Army Island Sports Center for Colonial men's games. So Gadosh trying to work his way up the ranks. Speaking of former Colonials or Colonial attachments, connections, former RMU player and soon-to-be Hall of Famer Denny Urban has also been refereeing in the PIHL this season. Drew Wilbert One of 3 Wilberts on the ice tonight with his brother Eric in net, or pardon, brother Eric alongside, and other brother Alex in net. Gave it to Eric Wilbert. Behind the back dish, they want to start the cycle, do the Wilbert brothers, and they do it successfully. Eric Wilbert behind the net with that pass. Lehman tracks it down, pulls it away from a defender. Lehman gave behind the net. Drew Wilbert scanning his options, backpedaling, feeding to Lehman, couldn't take the dish in his skates, and now knocked up and out by Michael Sawecki of Central Catholic. John Null got to it first, made a backhand pass. Over here, Simeone shooting, and that's off the body of Wilbert, and it caroms over to the corner. Now a redirect in front by Caparelli that was blocked. Hunter Ferguson got in front of that for Peters Township, but here come the Vikings. This is a team that has averaged 3 goals per game, middle of the pack in the 9-team class AAA. Now Luppe using that good speed to beat Jonathan Bieber to the puck. Luppe, good saucer pass, off for a shot from Watsula that's blockered away by McDermott. High in the air it goes, and now pulled down and skated out of trouble by Caparelli. Caparelli to the top of the circle. Good low shot, patted out of there by Wilbert. Comes free to Bieber, can't get it through bodies, and now Luppe will relay it to center. Watsula slowing things down at the top of the circle. Wanted to drag it past Iaccio, but unable to do so. Jake Bush from the point sent one toward the far side circle, and Schwartz kicked it toward the middle. But now here are the Vikings on the counterattack. Barrett overpowers Simeone, and here are the Indians again, pushing right back. 8:34 to go, and a quick moving first period. No penalties. And just the 1 goal. John Camp scoring for Peters Township. Watsula, a turning wrister along the ice. And that was blocked before it got to the front of the net. Luppe was lurking too. Over there on the far side, here's Luppe centering. It's deflected away from Torrey Schwartz, who was lurking between the circles. Bush fanned on the one-timer, and Watsula has to go back to retrieve for the Indians. Over the red line, serpentine pattern. Watsula has some room. Look at those dinks all the way in, but he lost control at the last moment. Barrett pulls it to his forehand and guns one that missed the left post. And the Vikings and Dane Martin get that clear. So PT flexing its muscles a bit in the last couple of minutes. Already leading 1-0 are the Indians. Here on home ice, where they've lost just once in 6 tries. Jack Zakin couldn't take that cross-ring feed from Owen Barrett. Swatted ahead on the bounce by Alexei Hooks. And the Vikings go to work below the goal line. Junker checked and knocked off the puck. Dylan Vallow shuffled one to the front of the net. That's swatted away from Barrett, or by Barrett. And McElhaney deking into some open ice. Dropped it back. Here's Camp, the goal scorer, shooting again for that far side post, and this time it was weakened on the way and skipped wide of the net. McElhaney forces a deflected pass, but the Vikings handle it well. Jacob Bond takes a lead delivery. Tried to deke around a man and did, but he ended up behind the net. Bond on his backhand centering. One-timer goes just wide from the on-charging. I believe that was Saganek. Or, pardon me, that was Sawecki coming down the slot. Ryan Lee tried to give it to Zakin, and we have a penalty coming up on a tie-up behind the net. John Null and Jeffrey Poon were engaged in some extracurriculars with 6:44 to go. It appears one of the penalty boxes will open, and it'll be on the Central Catholic side. The penalty is holding to John Null, and Peters Township, in a rarity, will put its power play to work. PT has had the fewest amount of power play chances in the league this year, just 18 in 10 games. So fewer than 2 per game for PT, but they get one here in the first period. On the holding penalty to John Null. Iaccio clears up into the Peters Township zone. Watsula turning this way and that. Now he elects to go to the outside, and it was a good choice as it turns out. He found some room, and now he goes around the horn with it. It goes past Lehman, but now picked up and cleared down. Sharp play from Jonathan Bieber. Didn't make any mistake with that one. Wilbert guns the puck up ahead, too far for Lehman to take at center. And so the Indians have to go chase again. Central Catholic has possessed the puck for most of this special team sequence, despite being down a man. 1-0 Peters Township, now 6 minutes to go in the first period. Luppy ran into some trouble there, but he got around Alexei Hooks. 2-on-2 rush with Schwartz. The feed off to Schwartz. A little bit indecisive was Torrey, and he gave it up in the middle. And it's dumped down quickly by Kostrikani, and it's a change for the Vikings. Mark Lehman plucks this one off the wall. Good pass right through the middle in the seam there for Schwartz to take. Handed off to Luppy, a bit unintentionally it appeared. Then Luppy went down on the hook from Hooks, but no call upcoming. Schwartz wanting to pry it free. It's in the skates of a couple of Vikings. Slammed over to the wall by Saganek. Here's Watsula. Good cross-ring pass. Finds Luppy for a high-rising shot that's off the mask of McDermott and then cleared over the glass by the Vikings. 5:20 left in the first. 36 seconds to go on John Null's holding penalty. Peters Township has the first goal in this game. Like I said, that's a rare situation for the Indians. We'll see how they handle it. I'm not really joking either. It's been a motivation for PT to come from behind this year, but I'm sure they'd like to see some more routine wins. Redirected in front, and Camp's got another one on the power play. My goodness, John Camp is scorching hot. Ryan Lee shot it. Camp redirected it into the side of the net, and it's 2-0 with 5:04 left in the second period. Can you believe this guy? Give me fuel. Give me fire. He's got plenty of it, plenty of both. Camp's got 2 in this game, 1 at even strength, 1 on the power play, and PT has a 2-0 lead on this Tuesday night at Printscape Arena in South Point. So give Lee another assist, and I think an underappreciated story for Peters Township is Ryan Lee piling up the points. That's now 8 for the defenseman in this, the 11th game of the season. Nearly a point per game pace for a guy who's more known for his physical play. But here's Lee making an outlet pass, and it's off the skate there of Cole Szymanski. Here are the Vikings pulling it back, and Sawecki turning to shoot. He was cleaned out after he got the backhand away by Lee, but a good play from Michael Sawecki in his bid for his 3rd of the season. He had a turn. He knew that hit was coming, but he courageously stayed down on that puck and forced Wilbert to make a pad stop. 2-0 Peters Township, 4:22 and ticking to go in the first period. Sawecki on the dump, and no chase here as it's a 5-man change for Central Catholic. Poon sets sail to center, over the blue line, and stops in the corner and spun out. He was going a little bit too fast, I guess, for his skates to handle as he slammed on the brakes. Camp from Lee is the announcement right now, but here are the Vikings in front, and it's in Wilbert's glove somehow. Simeone was on the doorstep, making the pass, Caparelli, and nearly a goal for the Vikings, but not to be. Wilbert, oh so calm and net as always. It's hard to tell sometimes if he has the puck in his glove because he's so unassuming. Makes it look routine, though, and that one was anything but. So here is Kostrikani dumping it down the wall. John Camp on the take back. Camp tripped up. That'll be another penalty against Central Catholic, and the Indians go right back to the power play with 3:36 left in this period. Camp, the dynamo, making the quick cut out of the corner and slashing the call against Kostrikani of Central Catholic. The Indians have their 4th power play goal of the season on 19 opportunities. This will be chance number 20. This is a rarity. 2 power play opportunities in 1 period. It's been a while since the Indians have had that. They've worked for both. But they have to go find this one. Wilbert leaves it at the side of his net for Ferguson to hand off. A lot of speed for Drew Wilbert, the junior. Makes the play up ahead, but it's off a Vikings leg. A lot of speed, though, for all of his teammates, and they were able to swarm on the Viking player who was trying to clear it, but only momentarily, as Central Catholic does get it all the way down 200 feet. Jonathan Bieber saucering that one the length of the rink. Here are the Indians again. Eric Wilbert wanted to leave it there for Camp on the overlap, but swatted away. The Vikings preventing any kind of offensive zone possession right now. Drew Wilbert finally finds it. Ferguson to Camp out by the line, but Camp banked it right to a Viking, and Hooks lets it go all the way down the ice. Wilbert plays it up the river, but it's taken there on the move by Dane Martin. Martin shooting, and it's off the blocker hand that appeared of Wilbert. Now trying to stuff it in is Sawecki for a shorthanded goal, and he takes a couple of whacks, and the whistle sounds, and Sawecki's trying to continue to, I guess, take his pound of flesh in front. It was interesting to watch as the whistle was a little bit late with the puck under Wilbert, it appeared from up here. So Sawecki just kept going, and then he kept going after that. 2:23 remaining in the first period. More than halfway through this second Peters Township power play. It's 2-0 Indians on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest and PTCT 7. Schwartz will lean in for this face-off for the Indians, but lost it straight away to Hooks, who hooks one right through the crease, and that slid right by to the side wall. Watsula on the breakout. Good saucer pass, but it skips over the stick of Schwartz, but it bounces right to Luppe. Luppe wanted to put it in front for Schwartz on the nice redirection, but it was broken up. Schwartz from the corner to Luppe, right back to Schwartz on the one touch. Luppe runs things from the half wall. The give out to Watsula at the point. 4 forwards and a D for Rick Tingle's power play unit. Luppe protects the puck against Alexei Hooks and makes a 5-foot pass over to Schwartz. Cross rink now, Alexander. Aiden Alexander's pass. Hard bounce off the kick plate. Schwartz, good deke, shooting. Blocked down, and Lehman couldn't find it in front of the net. Down to 1 second to go on the power play, and it's cleared one more time, so the Vikings survive. That toe drag from Schwartz was a real crowd pleaser, though. The PT student section down to my left loved it. Might have been able to hear that over the camera mic. Aiden Alexander overtaken there at center, and John Null with a high flip for the Vikings. 1:12 left in the first period. Schwartz twisting and finding Luppe briefly, and now it's time for a line change for Peters Township. And that'll give Michael Facciano an opportunity to make a adulterated breakout pass. Here's DiNardo. Stepping up, though, for Peters Township. Szymanski shoved one in front of the net off the skate of Jacob Bond of Central Catholic. And now poking it ahead and getting some room here is Null. John Null, nearly dragged it through a couple of Indians, but he lost control of the puck. Some Vikings fans want a holding call, but none forthcoming. Barrett bangs it off the boards. Down to 30 seconds to go in the first period. So Null a strong move to let the Indians know he's still there. Bush, soft play off the wall. Now Johnson hooks up with Szymanski. Wanted to lift it past Bieber, but he knocked it out of the air, did Bieber. It settles into the far corner. Johnson's going to the net. Got a quick chop shot away on McDermott, who pins it down and gets the whistle with 8.2 seconds left on the first period clock. Good numbers tonight on the Facebook page. Thank you for joining. I see a comment from Judy Barrett down in Hilton Head, rooting on Owen Barrett of the PT Blue Line. We've seen Judy on here before. Camp to face it off for Peters Township against Caparelli. And Caparelli controlled it cleanly for the Vikings, and the clear up off the window, and out it goes. And then Poon unintentionally shot that out of play off the Cannon Mac banner over on the far side of the ice. But should be no harm, no foul, as there is just over 1 second to play in this first period. Same two men square off, and Caparelli just tried to push it ahead into the offensive zone. Nothing was going to happen after that draw right at the center ice circle. So John Camp with 2 goals. He continues his reign of terror over Peters Township opponents here in the first 3 games of his varsity career. The junior now has 4 goals in, well, what amounts to 7 periods of play. Now he's seeing some power play time, and he did convert on one of 2 opportunities for the Indians in that first period. After this will be a 2-week break for both of these teams. Peters Township will return to the ice first on January the 7th as they'll travel up to Barrel Ice Complex in Warrendale to take on the first place North Allegheny Tigers. PT out for revenge there. That's the only home loss on the season schedule so far for the Indians. They fell 5-3 to North Allegheny back in late October. And it's actually a 2-game week for the Indians coming back after the break. They'll also play on the 10th. So they will play on Monday the 7th and Thursday the 10th in January. And that game on the 10th was supposed to be here, but due to a malfunctioning Zamboni about 6 weeks ago, that game against Mount Lebanon could not be played. So they'll make it up not here, but down at the Ross Straver Ice Garden. So keep that in mind if you're thinking of traveling. It doesn't appear we'll be able to broadcast that one from Ross Straver with the sketchy Wi-Fi in that building. So you will see us up at Barrel, though, coming out of that holiday break. As for Central Catholic, it'll be a matchup at home against Bethel Park on Tuesday, January the 8th. So both of these teams looking at some time off. So no reason to leave anything on the ice tonight. And here we go for the second period as Caparelli whips a shot off the glass from the bottom edge of the right circle. Central Catholic down 2-0 to Peters Township. Now into our 18th minute of play tonight. This is Matt Geitka on the play-by-play call on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest Live. Icing here against the Vikings. Central Catholic so far 2-3 on the road. The Vikings actually won their first 2 away from the Alpha Ice Complex. Central Catholic has a winning record at home, 3-2-1, and that one was against PT. This is the final regular season matchup between these two. 18-game schedule. Once again in Class AAA. But unlike last year, it's not a balanced schedule. Good check on that far wall. Luppy drilling one of the Vikings into the glass. That was Hooks. Indians wanting to break in with a 3-man rush, but losing control of the puck was Schwartz. And hoisted out to center by Ryan Lee. Schwartz wants to get around Ronan Junker and will. Schwartz got to it first and wanted to fire a centering pass in front to Watsula, but it's broken up. Watsula finds that loose puck. Hooks up with Luppy. Schwartz wanting to turn it in front. Could not do it. Now Lee shooting and a good wrister right into the belly pad of McDermott. A straight-on shot from Ryan Lee, bidding for his second point of the game. He already has an assist. And Lee, the senior, alternate captain, has 2 goals on the year, so he's shown a scoring touch in the first half of the season. Yes, we are already in the second half of the regular season. Hard to believe. We're just barely more than 2 months into the year. But here we are. Lehman, a flip, and he retrieves it himself. Now he shoots on the second chance. That was a tricky little play, but give credit to McDermott for staying with it and making the blocker save. That puck dropped into his blocker, and so that's how he got the whistle. 15:31 remaining in the second period. Offensive zone draw for Peters Township. Lehman lost it there cleanly to Jacob Bond. And here are the Vikings. It's Sawecki skipping a pass that is unable to be controlled by John Null. Drew Wilbert on the counterattack for PT. Wilbert is crushed there by Vallow. In front of the net, though, here's Eric Wilbert, but he couldn't pull it to his backhand cleanly. Lehman turning to shoot, and he gunned it off the glass. Power move from Lehman. Now he shoots and scores! Mark Lehman off the perfect pass from Drew Wilbert. The Indians just kept coming at the start of the second period, and it's 3-0. Good eye, sniper. Mark Lehman powers it under McDermott from point blank. And for Lehman, the junior center, that's his 8th goal against just 1 assist. He's a finisher this year. With 15:05 left in the second, PT has a 3-goal lead. It's been a while since the Indians have had this big of a lead this early in a game. So now the Vikings have it all to do. Castracani shot wide from the top of the left circle. Ooh, and a cross-rink play hit Castracani right in the side of the face mask, maybe even the side of the helmet. Looks like he's recovered from that. Some friendly fire for sure. That drew a groan from the crowd. So the scoring goes Wilbert and Wilbert assisting Lehman. And that's not a typo. It's Eric Wilbert and Drew Wilbert getting the assists on Mark Lehman's 8th of the year icing call against the Central Catholic Vikings on the missed lead pass. Drew Wilbert now has 5 points on the year. Eric has 4. Two even strength goals and a power play goal for Peters Township, and it's 3-0. So just after Lehman misses the net, PT retrieved and knocked that puck right out in front again. And that's been key to this win streak for Peters Township. They have had 3 lines rolling on a nightly basis, and that you could call their second line. Although it's tough to really say one line's the first at the moment, especially with Jeremy Anthos out with that leg injury that he suffered 2 weeks ago. So without the leading scorer for the Indians, they've tried to spread things around, and here's the line that's been the real revelation in the last 2 games with Camp and Zakin and McElhaney, and it appears John Camp has been penalized for a cross-check in the corner. 14:08 left in the second as Camp goes off the ice shaking his head. Very few players actually agree with the penalties called against them, of course. Cross-checking called by referee Garrett Gaydosh, and that'll put the Indians shorthanded for the first time tonight. Peters Township was 1 for 2 on the power play itself in the first period. Central Catholic did not get a chance, but here go the Vikings. Down 3-0, needing a goal here to stem the red tide. Poon saucers that puck down the ice. And so from the left side of the rink, skating across your device screen, the Vikings and Sawecki make a pass here to John Null. Sawecki is hit hard by Schwartz. The Indians are bringing the physicality here tonight, a little bit more than usual. They're not a big hitting team necessarily. Kostrikani avoids a check there from Lee. He's one of the young men who's always throwing his body around, but it appears to be more contagious tonight. Now Lee finds a loose puck, and with that biscuit on edge, he sends it down 180 feet over there to latch onto it. McDermott, the goaltender for Central Catholic. Not much on this power play for the Vikings, 1 minute in. Null, 5 goals on the season. John Null gets around Poon and shoots, glove save by Wilbert and no further play. Null and Anthony Perdue and Claudio Simeone are tied for the team lead with 5 goals apiece on the Vikings side. Vallow and Junker have 4 each. So it's been a pretty deep Vikings attack so far this year. Plenty of guys that you have to watch out for if you're the opposition. And so far, so good in that category for the Indians. Up 3-0 here. Lehman shrugs off Saganek, but here are the Vikings back with it, but they're offside. Caparelli, in frustration, he shoots that puck off the dasher board behind the net. For good reason, because the Vikings had something going there, a 3-on-2 push. The Indians had a couple of players trapped back on the penalty kill. It's 3-0 Peters Township over Central Catholic. It was more back and forth the first time these teams met. Neither team got more than a 1-goal lead in that 4-3 shootout win for the Indians. And this puck was shot into the bench by Peters Township. That'll set up the draw to Alex Wilbert's left, the PT goalie. Yet to give up one this game so far. This is 5th start of the season. And he's looked on his game. He hasn't been exactly under siege, but nothing to complain about if you're the Indians with regards to the goaltending situation. There usually isn't. Drew Wilbert, good fight to get past Bieber and skate in 1v3 shorthanded. Bieber wanted to pass it back to Lehman and got it to him, and then Lehman shot off his back foot and missed the net. But here's Drew Wilbert to get in front. Lehman put it between his legs, and where the puck go just wide of the net, that would have been an unbelievable goal. And shorthanded to boot, but he missed. Did Lehman change the angle by stuffing the puck between his own legs and shooting with a stick between his shin pads, and he's laughing. He knows he had McDermott beat, but the puck went wide, and then the net was knocked off, and, well, Lehman was on top of McDermott after that, so play was stopped. Takes some confidence to try to pull that move off, and Lehman was going for his second goal of the game and his 9th of the season. And with 8, Lehman has now tied Ryan Luppy for the team lead in the goal category. Camps out of the box. The Indians survive the Central Catholic power play. The Vikings 0 for 1 on the advantage. Eric Wilbert takes it with the Indians now safely ahead 3-0, under 12 to play in the second period. This is PIHL hockey from South Point, PA, the rink formerly known as the Isoplex, now Printscape Arena. The give from McElhaney finds Eric Wilbert. Back to the point. Alexander shoots, deflected off the post. Rebound, McElhaney, and it's off the outside of the net, and a quick whistle there from referee Nunez, but McDermott scrambling. The Vikings very close to giving up a fourth there. The Indians were persistent, and there was an open net for a moment for McDermott, but he just could not corral that puck to get the shot off from the low slot. Peters Township just keeps coming. Szymanski to Barrett off the face-off win. Right back to Owen Barrett. Tees up a slapper. Save made, and the rebound's off of Johnson, and he pushes it away to the wall. Right back to Barrett. Indians recycle it here. It's Bush. Wristing one save. Rebound. Johnson poked it wide. Now Johnson centers. Barrett shooting off Szymanski's stick and wide of the goal. Vikings looking for a clear. They'll get it here as John Null will be able to skate the loose puck out of trouble. And he fends off DiNardo, does Null. Stops in the corner. Finds a man in front. Open, it's Bond. Glove save again by Wilbert. The leather is being flashed down to my right in the second period. That's 2 outstanding saves, keeping it 3-0. Watsula pushing it off to the sideboards on the face-off win for Peters Township, and a shot by Null. He got a lot of that, but he missed it over the crossbar. Jeffrey Poon to the sidewall with it, and it's Luppy. Long lead pass finds Torrey Schwartz. Schwartz is in to shoot, and he scores! Torrey Schwartz buries it under the crossbar from inside the right dot, and it's 4-0 with 10:29 left in the second period. PT pouring it on, and for Schwartz, that's his 8th of the season. It's a 3-way tie at the top for Peters Township in that area. 3 even strength goals, 1 on the power play, and the Indians have it rolling here tonight from South Point. Camp taps it over. Won his own faceoff, did Camp, didn't need any help. McElhaney's shot, and the rebound was put right on net. McDermott had to make a stop, and it trickles in, no goal. It's waved off. Referee Nunez says it was kicked in. Jeffrey Poon is saying, I don't think so, but there's no replay review in high school hockey, so all involved will have to deal with that call and move on. .10:18 left in the second. Peters Township leads it 4-0. Poon knocks it down. Over on the far side, it's picked up by Castracani, but he's stripped of it. And back come the Indians again. McElhaney working one-on-one. McElhaney forced off to the side there, nicely by Dane Martin, Central Catholic defenseman. But here's McElhaney again, charging to the net. Left it there. Here's Lee shooting, couldn't get it through. A lot of bodies in front. I think Saganek eventually blocked it. Now Camp shooting for the hat trick. He whiffed on the one-timer. Poon couldn't knock it down. Here come the Vikings now. Caparelli on the right side, shot one, and it's patted down and covered up by Wilbert. Alex Wilbert getting the shoulder on that shot, it appeared, from Caparelli, who was seeking his second goal of the season. the second period has been pretty good to the Vikings all year long. They have a +5 differential in the middle frame, 16-11 coming into this game. They had outscored opponents, but they've given up 2 here to PT to make it a 4-0 score at the moment. Mark Lehman will take that quick dish from Drew Wilbert. Lehman shoots from a sharp angle, sticked into the air, and touched with a high stick, apparently. Rules referee Nunez, and that'll give Central Catholic a chance to escape its own zone off that infraction. No penalty, just a face-off down in the Peters Township zone. Camp has 2, Lehman has 1, Schwartz has 1 for the Indians tonight. Eric Wilbert clearing it up the wall. Lehman steps around the check of hooks and sends one ahead a little too far for Eric Wilbert to latch on to. Now the Vikings maybe have a chance again here on the counter. Ferguson, though, got his stick in the way of Dylan Vallow's wrister, and out of play it soars. 8:47 left before the ice cut. The last 5 games have gone loss, win, loss, win, loss for Central Catholic. The Vikings have not been able to piece together back-to-back wins so far. But they do have 5, so it's been that kind of a up-and-down season for the boys in purple. Recently, they defeated Erie Cathedral Prep 6-4 2 weeks ago. And 4 weeks ago, they topped Mount Lebo 3-1 at home. Recent losses, 1-0 to Butler and 5-2 last week to Mount Lebanon. The Blue Devils and the Vikings have gotten together 3 times this season. Centering pass in front was broken up by the Indians. Vikings go back to work here, but an errant pass by Null. I think he was looking for Iaccio, but it ended up going right between Iaccio and Saganek out at the point. Aiden Alexander rips it away from Sawecki, but Sawecki got it right back. Put it in front. Here's Null. Oh, and he can't pull the trigger there. And then Null knocks down Szymanski, and Szymanski takes a bump from Sawecki. Getting physical out there. It has been physical really the entire game, but even more so now. Null wanting to chop one in off Wilbert's pads, but not to be. John Null, he had a moment there where there was an open net as Wilbert couldn't get back, and this is cleared down by the Indians. They need a change as they'll skate to the bench on the icing call. Whistle sounds with 7:26 left in the second. I think earlier in the game I said that John Camp, the call-up, is a junior. He's actually a sophomore, so good for the Indians. The scoring sensation in the last 3 games still has 2 more years of varsity hockey after this one. Back to live action, 7:14 left in the second period. 4-0 Peters Township. Luppy will take this bank play from Barrett. Luppy wants to put a pass across and, nearly bounced in off Luppy, and it caroms right to the front again. And that's where McDermott pins it down. Luppy had Schwartz open on the far wing, but could not get it through to him. So all 3 lines, if you will, for the Indians have goals so far in this game at even strength. This one with Watsula centering Luppy and Schwartz. Connecting most recently, Schwartz scoring a few minutes ago. On the rush down the right wing and then snapping that shot over McDermott's glove. Appeared to be a short side shot from this angle. Castracani on the take back for Central Catholic. Fed it in front. It skips into the corner instead as it was too far for Simeone to take. Barrett to Schwartz, who hoists it out to center. Luppy, wary of a possible check from Dane Martin, didn't look down for that puck, and then it goes off the body of Barrett and into the Central Catholic bench with 6:35 remaining in this second period. Peters Township by 4. PT hasn't had many runaways this season. They, at one point, led Cannon Mac 3-0 a few weeks back and ended up being 3-2. So they've had some of the other teams come back, but for the most part, it's been the Indians needing to rally. Not so tonight. We'll see how their lead protection skills have developed over the past several weeks. PT is protecting a 6-game winning streak in addition to this 4-goal edge. Poon, what a move there to chip it by a couple of Vikings. Jeffrey Poon to his backhand, now pulls up on the forehand, but checked well. Good job from Velchery to prevent what appeared to be a dangerous rush from blossoming. Lee, one hand on his stick, flipped that puck inadvertently into the Vikings bench again. It's a familiar spot for the Vikings. Last week, they fell behind 2-0 in the first, but they were able to make it a 1-goal game a couple of times. It'll take a big push here tonight to make it interesting in the third. But the Vikings did score 6 just a couple of weeks ago, so this one's not over. Andrew Wilbert couldn't clear. Null holds. Null had Sawecki going to the net, but he elected to shoot and it was blocked. Lehman on the take. Lehman dishes softly over there to Drew Wilbert. Skates in behind the net, does Wilbert, but he centered it to no one. Eric Wilbert on the forward check. Overtaken. And now here's John Null again. Null getting plenty of ice time in this one. Run off the puck by Aiden Alexander of PT. Saganek at the point, couldn't get it through to the front. And Lehman bursting ahead. Mark Lehman has a goal in this second period. Wanted to make a behind-the-back pass, but partially fanned on it. That allows Saganek to catch up to the loose puck in the far corner. Alexander from the half wall, pressured by Null. And now Saganek sends a body check toward Eric Wilbert's direction. Puck popped loose, and Lehman now gave to Wilbert. Right back to Lehman, and he scores from the slot off the give back. It's 5-0. Mark Lehman, with 4:43 left in the second period, has put the Indians ahead by a handful. And again, give Drew Wilbert the primary assist. It's fun watching those two play the give-and-go game as they did there. So 5-0 is the score in this final game before the holiday break for both teams. For Lehman, his 9th of the year, 2nd of the game. Still plenty to go in this one. A couple of Indians on hat-trick watch. Lehman and Camp. McDermott forced to fall on top of this one. And I can't say McDermott's really been at fault for any of these. The Indians have had some great chances. Maybe that Schwartz one, he would say he might want a second crack at it. But the workhorse for Central Catholic is under siege tonight. Lehman from Drew Wilbert with 4:43 left in the second period. Here's a good move and another glove save from Wilbert. Alex Wilbert on Ronan Junker. A little cutback move on the forehand. .410 remaining in the second period. So it's a 3-goal second, just like it was last week for the Indians. In the middle, a good little bit of stick handling by Caparelli to pull himself free, but he couldn't get that shot through before Alexander recovered and redirected it into the screen. Watsul to give off to Aiden Alexander. His backhand. Dane Martin crept up the wall to keep it alive for the Vikings. But the giveaway on the far wing, Schwartz. Sharp tape-to-tape pass finds Hunter Ferguson. Ferguson on the clear in. He'll get to that puck first, but had his stick lifted by Martin of Central Catholic. Jonathan Bieber, good lead pass. The Vikings have 2 men clear. Oh, but they're offside. Simeone was a step ahead of Caparelli, nearly a 2-on-0 if that would have been a legal play. So it's not like the Vikings aren't getting some looks on the counterattack in this period, because they are. But again, a missed chance. And you can hear the frustration there on the Vikings bench with the door being slammed repeatedly and a 5-0 score. It's not that much of a blowout, really, judging by the flow of this second period especially. Jack Zakin's wrister got nothing but glass. And now the Indians have to retreat on the back check. Null. Good move to the backhand. Now the forehand swirls him behind the net. Centered one. And Martin appeared to be interfered with in front. Holding is the call against the Indians with 3:11 to go in the second. Jake Bush heads to the box. That's his first penalty of the season, by the way. And the time remaining in the period, just 3:11. This is the second time the Indians have been shorthanded in this frame. High clear goes off the glove of one of the Vikings. Here comes Lehman shorthanded, maybe looking for the hat trick. No, he'll drop it off. And Drew Wilbert shot it wide. A 2-on-1 chance for the Indians. Drew Wilbert in the middle, shot it off the stick of the kneeling Jacob Bond, who made the saving block. The Indians keep the pressure on, under 3 to go here in the second. They're up 5-0. Sawecki. Backhand pass to the onrushing Martin. Cross rink, here's Bond shooting on target and a pad save. Kicked out of there by Wilbert with the right leg. Null, down the wall. Bond's open on the backside post, but it's Castracani taking it, trying to center it for Null. Comes right back to Castracani, and he put it over the top right corner. Loose puck in the high slot, and Drew Wilbert spins and dumps it down off the goal stick of Norbert McDermott. 2:02 left in the second. 1 minute remaining on the Central Catholic power play. Jeffrey Poon turns and rips it out of the zone. Bieber controls for Central Catholic. Headman pass finds Saganek in the offensive zone. Saganek settles in below the goal line. Then he cross-check lead down to the ice, no call. 25 seconds remaining in the power play. Bieber to Junker. Different unit on now for the Vikings. Caparelli to Bieber. Long-range shot, bodies in front, and it was blocked by the Indians' Poon, who went down to a knee after absorbing that one. And then Lee gunned it off the glove of Bieber and all the way down the ice. Saganek with the Indians back to full strength. This is Schwartz centering for Luppy. It's off his stick on the forehand, and Luppy bangs it back out to the neutral area. Poon makes the cross-rink feed. Lee is stripped at the blue line. Caparelli charging on back, wanting to shoot on the forehand side, but he left the puck behind. Under a minute to play in the second period. 5 goals on the board for Peters Township. Indians' season high is 7. This will be an icing here with Ryan Lee getting rid of it under some token pressure. So we'll take a short break here at the intermission along with the 2 teams and bring it on back for the third period. Still some hockey left to play, though, before that. Bouncing shot to the front. Vikings hunting the rebound, but Hooks was stymied at the point of attack. Veltri shuffles it in deep. Ferguson high off the glass and down to both knees to keep in. Good job from Veltri for the Vikings. 17 seconds to go in the period. Can Central Catholic get one here before the buzzer? That would help the morale for sure. Simeone wanted to lift it off the glass, but it hit a partition on its way around behind the net, and it bounced right to the side of the goal. That's where Wilbert pins it down with 8 seconds to go in the frame. Perhaps one more draw here, and Watsula picks up the loose change at the dot. leading the pressure back. Watsula, he pulls free and lets one go. And McDermott makes the stop. Watsula had a little bit more time than he thought. He probably could have gotten right to the doorstep, but tough to tell when that scoreboard clock's behind you. Can't blame him for at least making sure he got the rubber on net, and he did. Peters Township coach Rick Tingle calls Alex Wilbert to the bench. He wants a sixth attacker on. No way Central Catholic can win the faceoff and score on that empty net. So Camp comes on the ice. Lehman's going to try to chop it toward the front, and he did, but it fluttered over the top of the net after it struck Michael Sawecki's stick, the centerman for Central Catholic. So 3 goals in the second period for Peters Township. Lehman twice, and Schwartz in the middle of those 2. It's a 5-0 lead for the Indians here at home. 1 regulation period left to go in this final game before the holiday break. We shall return for that third period after this on Peters Township Community TV and Pittsburgh Hockey Digest. Welcome back to Princecape Arena in South Point, PA for this PIHL game between Peters Township and Central Catholic. If you're watching on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest right now, you see there right at the top of your screen, it's a 5-0 lead for Peters Township. And I believe we lost the signal on the Facebook page before the last 2 of those 5 goals were scored. So Torrey Schwartz and Mark Lehman netted goals after the feed went out. Hopefully we're good to go tech-wise. We've had some struggles over the last couple of years with this, but we ask that you bear with us and realize that sometimes in some of these facilities the internet connection is not the most reliable, but we do what we can here. And again, this is Matt Geico on the play-by-play call, flying solo tonight. Thanks to Lori Seekley with Peters Township Club Hockey and Brian Mitchell of Pittsburgh Hockey Digest for helping to make these broadcasts possible. And of course, the good folks, the camera operators and the producers at PTCT7. They've been awesome in the 4 years I've been doing this job. I know that much. Well, to recap the scoring, John Camp scored twice. The sophomore call-up, that's sophomore call-up, now has 4 goals in 3 games, and his 3rd game isn't even over yet at the varsity level. So Peters Township carried a 2-0 lead into the second period. Then Lehman, Schwartz, and Lehman netted goals in the second. Lehman has 2 goals, Camp has 2 goals. They're both on hat trick watch as we begin this third period. Jack Zakin has another assist. Give him 3 points in 2 games. Ryan Lee has a couple of helpers from the blue line. Lee now with 9 points on the year. Eric Wilbert has 2 assists, so does his brother Drew. And speaking of the Wilberts, Alex Annette has been perfect so far on 12 shots against. Peters Township, by the way, out shooting the Vikings 26-12 through the first 2 periods. Final period of calendar year 2018, so I expect to see a lot of energy expended on both ends of the ice, even though the score is a rather wide margin at the moment. But, well, in the second period, honestly, Central Catholic had just as many opportunities to score goals as Peters Township did, but Central Catholic unable to beat Wilbert. And, well, now we'll see the varsity debut of Theo Kaloyer for Central Catholic. Number 30 checks in relief. This is first action of the season, obviously. McDermott, previous to this, had played every minute of every game for Central Catholic. So a change here for Coach William Connolly and his squad here on the road tonight in South Point. Ready to go for the face-off at Princecape to open the third period. The 2-goal man, John Camp, tonight will have the draw for Peters Township as the final 17 minutes are loaded on the center ice clock. And Peters Township controlling. It's Jeffrey Poon, the senior defender, clicking a pass off the body of Dylan McElhaney, the sophomore forward. Now a good forward check here for the Vikings. Jacob Bond wanting to flag it down, couldn't do it. And here are the Indians. McElhaney, headman dish off the skate of John Camp, who skates in behind the goal to pick it up. Camp yanking it away from a couple of Vikings. Now he skates back into that corner, does Camp. Stopping and starting. John Camp, a lot of energy here to start the third. Bank play is a good one to Lee. Shooting redirected and a save made off McElhaney's tip. And so Kaloyer's into this game, no doubt about that. He has to make a difficult stop without the benefit of a warm-up, of course, entering here in the third. Alex Wilbert melts this puck down as it skipped right to the front of his goal. John Null was in range. Null's had a few chances for the Vikings tonight. Central Catholic's been shut out once by Butler 3 weeks ago. That 1-0 loss up at Frozen Pond on Route 8. Hunter Ferguson nudging it ahead. Here's a good pass from Eric to Drew Wilbert. Drew putting the puck in the skates of Iaccio. Loose puck in front of the Vikings net, and it's scooped up and strided out of danger here by Caparelli. Christian Caparelli has shown some fine burst in this game, but lost the puck. Lehman cleaning up the garbage behind his net. Drew Wilbert pulls it back against the grain. Yes, Drew Wilbert, Eric Wilbert, Mark Lehman, they've combined for 6 points so far, and they're on the ice right now for Rick Tingle's Indians. Aiden Alexander, the handoff to Mark Lehman. Lehman right back to Alexander, the defenseman. Stepping up, has some room, put it off the pad of Kaloyer, and it caroms over to the side wall. Drew Wilbert, cross-ring pass, intercepted and cleared by Castracani down on one knee. Caparelli handing off. Castracani fired a pass up through center. The breakout for Central Catholic in a state of arrested development right now is Lehman now checked Simeone halfway into his own bench. Maximus Saganik. Aerial pass off the wall, and it's handed off here to Alexei Hooks. Hooks has had good jump in this game too. Wanting to play it in front, but it bangs off the back of the cage. Owen Barrett cleared it away from the side of the net. Big drive and a score! What a bomb from way out by the blue line by Dane Martin. He cracks it in. Does the righty shooting defenseman, and with 14:36 remaining in the third, the Vikings have their first goal, and once again there will be no shutout for the Peters Township Indians. 11 games, and they haven't been able to blank an opponent, but it's still 5-1 in their favor. Dane Martin got all of that one. A 60-footer sailed into the goal over the shoulder of the screened Alex Wilbert. But here's Luppy to Watsula. Has some room, and he put it just wide of the left post. Barrett chipping it down the wall. Dane Martin, the goal scorer. Martin's second of the year. Has the Vikings on the board as we hear the goal announcement now at Printscape. Claudio Simeone gets the only assist with 14:36 left in the third. And the Vikings will not be blanked for the second time this year. Probably too little too late, but no harm in at least trying to mount a miracle rally. And you need one if you want to get all the way back, of course. Watsula gave it away at center. Here are the Vikings again. Null, he can shoot it from the top of the circle. Instead, he makes the pass. Here's a wrister that's blocked by Luppy. Bieber pumped it on goal. And now Bieber shoots again, and Wilbert had to make a save on the sharp angle shot. Indians clear as Velchery goes back on the retrieval. Backhand play from Sawecki is intercepted. Luppy at center, and Watsula yanking it away from a couple of Viking sticks. Watsula circles all the way back over to the far side to shoot it into the offensive zone. Cole Szymanski got to that puck first over here on this near wall. His chip ends up behind the Vikings net, but it's flipped right past Parker Johnson of the Indians. Johnson, who scored a couple of weeks ago in the third period against Cannon Mac. Johnson overskates this one, and Sawecki will have a chance to escape, and he does on the give to John Null. 12:44 left in the third. 5-1 Peters Township. The Indians are getting close to their 7th consecutive win as they try to keep pace with North Allegheny, or at least stay 2 points back of North Allegheny entering the holiday break. From the Vikings end, it's Velchery cracking it off the wood, and it'll roll to a stop short of the goal line, or at least it'll slow down enough to prevent an icing call. Bond was stripped by Poon, who lifted that one right into the stands, and yeah, heads up being called by many in front of me down to my right. Poon trying to pick off a fan, it looks like, just over the Peters Township student section. One of the students stood up in mock disdain, turning his hands up at Poon. saying, "What are you doing?" Of course, not intentional there. So it leads to a defensive zone face-off, of course, and there wasn't really any pressure being applied by the Vikings. So just a misfire. Shot from Junker was redirected to the glass behind the net. Vernon Junker hasn't gotten on track here tonight. Here's a deflected shot from Saganek that sails over the glass and under the protective netting. It's a rarity you see that. Down to the left. It's rolling around, so we'll need a new puck. And we'll get it from referee Garrett Gaydosh. The face-off ended up with a puck right in front of the Indian zone, but they clear, and it's Camp taking it. Camp closing and shooting off the blocker hand of Kaloyer. Nearly a third goal for John Camp. Junker in front of the goal and popped wide of the net by Christian Caparelli. What a chance. Ronan Junker coming free and shooting off the blocker hand of Wilbert. It's going to be a penalty here against the Indians if they touch it up, and they will. So Junker twice, nearly an assist and nearly a goal on that shift. And the Vikings have more life here with 11:20 remaining in regulation time. PT about to go short for the third time in this game. Aiden Alexander escorted to the box. PT has killed off both Central Catholic power plays to this point. Jacob Bond swinging away on the face-off, and now it's loose in behind the Peters net. Poon ripped it off the stick of Sawecki. Not a high stick on the puck. It was right around shoulder height. But still, the Vikings have to go find it. Bond nudged it away from two Indians. Lee and Lehman ran into each other. Bond shoots. Save made. Wilbert, it's still loose, and a wrister by Null is stopped. Null got it back and shot it again. Free in front of the net. Bond pulls it free, and he missed the top right corner. A flurry of chances for the Vikings, but nothing on the board yet. Wrister deflected. Save made Wilbert. It's loose under him. And the net is knocked way off its moorings, and Indians diving for that puck. So are the Vikings. It was under the body of Wilbert. I could see it from up here, but the Vikings couldn't push it over the goal line. A tremendous scramble in the blue paint. And Sawecki and another Viking are just now rising to their feet. That's Nicholas Kostracani. They're both up. And the Central Catholic Vikings, who, well, much like the Indians, haven't had many opportunities this season. They've just had 20 coming into this game. So make it 23, and a clear down by Owen Barrett of Peters Township. Dane Martin, who nearly scored there on that deflected shot. Now a forehand dish. Bond plays it to an open wing, and there's Null to skate onto it. Null pulls it around Ferguson. Pass it behind the net, and it's out to the point, and here's Martin getting around a fallen Indian. That's Drew Wilbert. Kostracani to the front. Sawecki couldn't stuff it home, but it'll be kept in by Martin, no trouble. Martin, another good deke. Martin shoots, and it's off the stick of DiNardo and high off the glass. It stays in play. Under 10 to play in regulation. 5-1 Peters Township. A shot from Martin blocked. Rebound Sawecki. He's denied by Wilbert. Still free. At the edge of the circle now they fight. And popped off the leg of Martin. Right to Bond. He shot it through traffic, and that's blocked in front. And Drew Wilbert on it now for the Indians. Dressed in white, and they get the clear again. Weird bounce off a partition prevented Martin from keeping in. A fine shift from Dane Martin, the goal scorer here in this third period. The only one in this third period. As the Vikings do have a goal, but the power play is about to run out. Alexander released from the box. Sharp stick handling here, though, from Junker right to the front. He passed it, and a save made again by Wilbert on Vallow, this time from point-blank range. Well, Junker's found his hands in this third period. But the Vikings can't put one in for him. He's made two brilliant passes in the last few minutes. Strong face-off win by Caparelli, but too strong. And so Luppy will have a chance to skate onto it for PT. Luppy bumps Bieber off the biscuit. Right back in front it goes from Schwartz, and just a little bit away from the reach of Nico Watsula. Around the edge, Saganek, a backhand, maybe a shot pass, and Wilbert made the save anyway. And now Wilbert blockers away. The drive from Bieber from the far side. Watsula taking it ahead. Drop pass, Lee ripped it around a man and shot a wrister that hit a stick and deflected over the net. Given away, though, to the Indians. Luppy pass into the slot, and Watsula couldn't stash it home. Poon steps two in the corner. Jeffrey Poon. Tight turn, and Schwartz working on that loose puck, but Bieber wins that battle and hooks up with Vallow in the middle of the ice, and the Vikings can get a clear with 8:10 left in the third. 5-1 Peters Township, 2 goals each for Lehman and John Camp. Camp, a new character still in Indians land, even though he has 4 goals in his 3 varsity games. Veltri shot through the slot. Luppy looks up. He has Schwartz breaking, looking for a breakaway pass, but Luppy couldn't get a lot on that feed. And the Vikings go D to D. Schwartz dropped Facciano with a hit. That led to the turnover in the neutral zone. Schwartz's pass yanked back against the grain. Watsula has a chance to tee it up, but he can't against Facciano. Schwartz to it. Watsula takes it from him. Pass in front, Luppy, and he shoved it wide of the net. And what have we here? Another penalty, and it appears to be against the home team again. Peters Township in the white jerseys with the red helmets, red pants. Central Catholic, of course, in the purple with the gold. And Torrey Schwartz is about to be penalized for slashing. Second slashing call against the Indians here in this third. 7:14 left in this final frame. PT goes shorthanded for the 4th time. Neutral zone face-off, controlled by the Vikings. Central Catholic trying to avoid dropping 2 in a row for the first time in a while. Vikings came in at 5-5-1. Camp popped off the puck. Good clean check there from Martin, and now Null shoots over the top of the net, down to our left. Vikings 0 for 3 on the power play today. Castracani to Null, or pardon, Null now out high, takes a big rip as he and Martin changed places. Puck didn't get through, and here's Bond prying it loose. Alexander with a big battle there against Castracani. And it's cleared down the ice by Aiden Alexander. Lehman reaching in, pulls it away from Martin. Lehman on the drag. Now a pass in front. Oh, and McElhaney somehow was stopped there by Colloyer. It bounced off the side of the net and then right to McElhaney's forehand. That's not exactly an intentional pass by Lehman, as he was just trying to put it into the mix, and it worked out perfectly, but McElhaney was robbed of a shorthanded goal. So still 5-1 Peters Township. Vallow drifted a shot wide, and off the corner boards it goes and back out to center. Bieber's dish over on far wing. Finds Ronan Junker, 24 seconds remaining on this power play. Vallow dispossessed. Bieber has it free. Bieber closing and scoring! Jonathan Bieber goes to the roof, and it's 5-2 on a brilliant shot. Might be an unassisted goal for the defenseman, Bieber, who nets his first of the season. Wouldn't be able to tell from that shot where he placed that over the glove of Wilbert. And Central Catholic has a 2-goal third period so far. 5:28 remaining, a power play goal. The Vikings battling all the way to the horn here tonight. They've gotten 2 back. They need 3 more, though, as PT carried a 5-0 lead into this final frame of action, at least in regulation time. Offside here against the Vikings. A bit of a controversial call in the stands. Are they calling intentional offside here? Or no, was it a high stick on the puck? Bieber's goal has an assist. It's Caparelli. So Bieber from Caparelli on the power play. And it's a 3-goal game once again. Jonathan Bieber, crunch there by Eric Wilbert. Lehman for a checking, but the Vikings get that breakout pass onto the stick of Junker, who stick handles around Lee, but I believe that was an attempted pass for Caparelli that slid well away from him. Junker continues to fight. 2 in a row for the Vikings, and still in the offensive zone here, but Lehman takes it away, bangs it off the wall. Drew Wilbert on the chase. He'll catch up to it just below the goal line. Oh, but it's an icing call. No touch icing in high school, so it doesn't matter if you're close to winning the race. If it's dumped from behind the center red line, as that one was, then it'll be blown dead. No questions about it. 4:37 left in the third. Well, if Central Catholic at least wants to pull its goalie at the end, it probably needs one more here. Castracani floating a pass over everybody's head, but he gets it right back here on the dump around. Now the give on the cycle, overlapping here, Alexei Hooks. Put it right through DiNardo. Here's Castracani shooting in front. Loose puck, Castracani chopping away, and Wilbert has it somewhere in his equipment. And the Indians now try to protect their goaltender with Ferguson shoving Castracani down on a knee. The initial shot was taken by Claudio Simeone, pardon me. He came out from the corner. So 38 and 39 nearly team up. .4:12 left in the third. Velchery below the goal line with that pass. Poon slow to get up. He was cross-checked in the back, and he's struggling right now. Camp, look at that skating move to burst at least out into the neutral zone, but now he's overtaken by Hooks. Hooks chases after his own dump. Oh, and he's hit hard there, and he's down after Poon laid the hit. It's called interference, but now the concern is for Hooks behind the net, who is just now rising up off his back. He didn't move for a solid 10 seconds. And Poon saying, what else am I supposed to do there? But the call is made. Interference. And Hooks, good to see him rising to his knees at least. With 3:47 remaining in the third, again, the Vikings will go to the power play. And that's 5 straight penalties against Peters Township. Well, Hooks is okay. I was really concerned there for a moment. Hooks chipped that puck into the corner. He was skating in after it. I believe he touched it behind the goal, but it's ruled that Poon's hit came after the window when you can hit a player after he's voluntarily given up possession of the puck. So at any rate, the Vikings get another chance here. 2 minutes up on the penalty clock to Jeffrey Poon, the senior defenseman. Caparelli shoved it forward, and now he makes the pass back as the Vikings have possession. Martin over to the far side. Shooting one is Bond, but he missed. To the middle, a backhand goes just wide from Sawecki. Sawecki fighting for it. Castracani, now Caparelli skates into it. Bond, one touch over here to Martin. Martin near side, no, cross ring pass, it's off a skate. Caparelli pulls it in, still 5-2 Peters Township. Wrist shot into the glove of Wilbert from Caparelli and no further play. 3:06 on the third period clock. And players extract themselves from the blender in front of the net. Plenty of bodies in the low slot all the way down to the top of the crease. Lehman on the penalty kill here. reaching out, but he can't get it past Null, who makes a backhand feed over on near wing. Martin, and now Ferguson has been penalized in front of the net. Head contact against Hunter Ferguson, and the Vikings are about to have a 2-man advantage. So the battle was intense with Max Saganek getting drilled as he gestures toward the Peters Township student section, who was jeering him. It's getting heated at the end. 2:57 left in the third, and a timeout's been called by Peters Township. Two more games left on the Class AAA schedule this week before everybody takes a couple of weeks off leading into the new year. Seneca Valley at Erie Cathedral Prep. That'll be on Thursday night, as will be the Cannon Mac and Bethel Park matchup up at the Spencer Family YMCA. And I mentioned next game for both these teams will be in that first part of the new year. PT returns to action against first place North Allegheny, but will PT be 2 points shy? They will be if they win this one. They're still up 5-2, but they're about to be short by 2 men for the next 1 minute 10 seconds. That is, if Central Catholic doesn't score a goal during that sequence. Central Catholic will be playing Bethel Park after the break. By the way, this one's still up for grabs, but just barely, and thanks to the penalty trouble that PT has gotten itself in. Cole Szymanski is also in the box, so it seems that Hunter Ferguson is done for the night. He's gotten 2 plus more for the head contact. It's a 5-on-3 coming up for Central Catholic. Timeout's over, and a clean win of the faceoff by the Vikings. Martin to Null. Pressured right there by Lehman, and he gets it right by Martin at the point. And it skids just wide of the empty net. By the way, it's a 6-on-3, I should say, as the goaltender has gone off to the bench for Central Catholic. Theo Kaloyer, who hasn't given up a goal here in his first varsity period, now watches as his team works with a 3-man advantage. 6-on-3. No, mishandled, and Lehman guns it down again, but he missed the empty net. No icing here, of course, with the Indians shorthanded. 36 seconds to go in the 2-man advantage, and the Vikings still haven't really set it up. A couple of mishandles here on the near wing. They will have possession now as Martin grinds to a halt. Hooks up with Null. Top of the left circle. Wrister blocker save. Loose puck, and whiffing on the shot was Caparelli on the bouncer. But Luppy can't clear. Jacob Bond, the Central Catholic captain, fights, and Luppy battles and flips it out to the neutral zone. 1:55 left in the third. 6 seconds remaining on the initial penalty to Jeffrey Poon for interference. Null's in deep. It's a 6-on-4 now as Schwartz joins the play, replacing Poon. 2 forwards, 2D out there for the Indians of Peters Township. Schwartz battling, has the loose puck. Torrey Schwartz with an empty net ahead of him, and he puts it in for the 6th goal. The Indians have a 6-2 lead. Shorthanded empty netter for Torrey Schwartz, and he is master of his domain, and so are the Indians tonight. They're going to pull out the win, surviving some late penalty trouble tonight at Princegate. 2 goals each for Camp, Lehman, and Schwartz. It's all very symmetrical on the offensive side for the Indians, and Schwartz replaced Poon as he came off the ice. He went from the box right to the bench, did Poon, and then Schwartz went out there to get that more traditional 2 forward, 2D penalty kill setup after the 2-man advantage was over. And now the Central Catholic goaltender is right back in net, Theo Kaloyer. So the Vikings valiantly battled, but they really couldn't get anything generated on the 2-man advantage. Watsula leads it ahead. Schwartz, he's going for the hat trick now. Torrey Schwartz checked by Saganek, but he keeps the puck and centers looking for Watsula, but it's intercepted. And now taken on for the onrushing Palahunik, who sees action and touches the puck for the first time tonight. And Wrister is stopped by Wilbert. 51 seconds remaining in the third. 6-2 Peters Township. The Indians are going to hold on to this one. Torrey Schwartz leads this Peters Township team now with 9 goals after getting 2 tonight. Alexander falls down to his backside, but still made the little backhand dish to Cole Szymanski. Szymanski out of the penalty box too, by the way. We're back to even strength, 5-on-5. 34 seconds remaining in this one. And 34 seconds left in the calendar year for both these teams. Colin DiNardo, the senior's looking for his first point of the season. He swirls right around a man. DiNardo pulls it right to the front, and Szymanski couldn't grab it. One last look perhaps for the Vikings now. Vallow, long-range shot, and Wilbert, after it pinballs around off his pad and his stick, will pin it down with the glove hand. 11 seconds remaining. Again, our next broadcast will be January the 7th. That's a Monday night at North Allegheny up at Barrel. I'll be with you again for game number 12 for Peters Township in this 18-game schedule. One final clear for the Indians. Peters Township gets 2 in the first, 3 in the second, and an empty netter from Torrey Schwartz finishes it off. Indians win. Indians win it 6-2 tonight at Princescape, and they will carry a 7-game win streak into the Christmas break. Congratulations to them. And for Central Catholic, the Vikings dropped to 5-6-1 and 0-2 against the Indians on the season, although one of those losses earlier in the year came in the shootout. 2 goals for John Camp, 2 goals for Torrey Schwartz, 2 goals for Mark Lehman, a couple of assists each for Eric Wilbert and Drew Wilbert and Ryan Lee. Peters Township really spread it around here in the final game of December. One more time from South Point, this is Matt Geica saying goodnight. I'll talk to you in 2 weeks up in Warrendale as PT takes on North Allegheny and we restart the PIHL 2018-19 season. Talk to you then.